Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Scott from MuscularStrength.com, and I wanted to have a nice sit-down, real talk with you guys and basically discuss my journey over the past year. As you saw from the title of the video, it says I gained 8 pounds, and this is how I lost it. And the photo on the left was actually taken 2 months ago, and the photo on the right was taken this week. And now the photo on the left, to the average person, it might not seem like there's a huge difference in those photos. Obviously, I'm pulling at all the loose skin on my body, which is just kind of like where some of the excess body fat that I had. I tend to hold a lot of body fat around my midsection when I do gain it. But basically, in that photo, I hadn't been training as consistently as I normally do, and so a few different things happened. I wasn't, not sleeping enough, not training consistently enough, and not eating enough food. Right? So basically the 3 worst things that you can do. And so in that photo, if you take a really closer look, my muscles, they look smaller, okay? They're a bit more flat. I'm holding a lot more water in that photo. That's why I'm able to kind of pull my skin out more. And obviously I don't look as thick. And it's because of those 3 reasons that I just gained. Now, my journey over the last year, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm from the Northeast, all right? I lived in New Hampshire my entire life. Well, between, Massachusetts and New Hampshire, I basically kind of lived in that area my entire life. And recently, I sold my home. So I sold my home last July, and I moved down to Florida because I built a house in Orlando. And the thought process behind that was, being up north, it really starting to seem like winter is lasting a lot longer than it used to. I remember being a kid and summer never ended. Now it's almost like winter never ends, and it's always gloomy, and working from home and having to deal with all the snow and all the rain and not really being able to go out and have fun. Things like seasonal depression start to set in. Your energy levels just tank. You lose motivation. And then on top of that, I was really starting to get tired of having to go from my house, to my gym, which is only like a 15-minute drive to get there. But every single time I would go, if I was filming a video, I would have to pack all my stuff, go there, unpack my stuff, get ready to film, have somebody meet me there to film. If I needed the help, some videos I could film on my own. And then I would leave the gym. I'd have to repack all my things, put it back in the car, get home. By the time I got home, there's no way I felt like editing a video. And I wanted to be able to streamline that process much better so that I could produce more content for you guys. And so that was one of the reasons why I wanted to move down here. Another reason was I really wanted to be where it's warm. And I don't know if you guys have never been to Orlando before, but there's so much to do. Not to mention you get Universal, you got Disneyland, Islands of Adventure. There's just so much more stuff to do down here. And I just feel like I have a much better life down here. I'm happier. My wife and my daughter and I can go out and do a lot more stuff. My wife has family that lives down here. And one of the conditions of moving was, if I move down to Florida, I want to build my gym in my house. And so that was the main condition. So lo and behold, now we're in Florida. And you guys have seen my home gym. But the process of getting from there to here was extremely stressful. Having to pack an entire house and then ship it down here. The goal, I guess the story is, we were supposed to move into our home in August, all right? So we moved down here in July. So all our stuff was in storage. We found an Airbnb to stay in that was kind of close to the airport, so about 35 minutes from the house we were building. And we're like, it's not that bad. We're only going to be in this Airbnb for a month, because you guys haven't seen it, but about 30 airplanes have flown over here because I'm right next to the airport. And then we finally moved in due to all the setbacks and all the bullshit we had to deal with the community that we lived in, because the builders just completely dropped the ball. It was Mattamy Homes that built our home, and they have a lot of issues. So that entire time, basically from July until December, was probably one of the most stressful times or stints in my entire life. I'm in an Airbnb, which it was a nice Airbnb, but it was, like I said, we're only supposed to be there for a month. So it was like a condominium surrounded by a lot of other condominiums. So I didn't really have as much freedom as I'm used to having in terms of filming at home. I mean, it was a 2-bedroom apartment. So we had a bedroom, my wife and I, my daughter had a bedroom. And if I had to do any sort of filming, it was basically done in the living room, and I would have to tell my wife and daughter to leave or go to the other room just to get things done. I slept horribly there. It just wasn't a comfortable bed to sleep in, and just the condo, it was a condominium, so there was only one door and window, and it was to leave. So everything was just always kind of dark and gloomy. And on top of that, now I'm in a whole new place, and I need to film videos, and I had nobody to help me. But I was actually so blessed that when I went to the gym, like the very first week, I made like 3 friends because they were subscribers to my channel. And then one of my new friends, Kevin, actually became my workout partner, and then he actually helped me film my videos week to week. And so I kind of had like a base down, but my consistency with my eating and my training really took its toll, because I would go to the gym to train, obviously, but I would have to drive 30 minutes to where my house was being built and check on my house 3 to 4 times a week just to make sure things were moving along. And then on top of that, the way the condos were built, like the air circulation was so poor that whenever I would cook, it would basically almost set off the smoke alarm, the fire alarm. And so I never wanted to cook there. My wife never really wanted to cook, so we were kind of eating out a lot more than we probably should. And I know, guys, these don't sound like excuses, and they are excuses, but it's just like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not happy. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be in my house, but I'm too busy just, cracking the whip, trying to get people to move. And it's like all that stress kind of built up, and I started to put some weight on. I wasn't training as hard. I wasn't eating as good. I wasn't sleeping as much as I should. And as a natural athlete, I don't have any external help. The way I look is because of the work that I put in. And I think it's very important that you guys understand that, because as a lot of you kind of mentioned in my videos, one of the things you like best about me and my channel is the advice I give is based on what it takes to, obtain your goals being a natural athlete. And this is the truth. And for me personally, I've done my genetic test. I have like the worst genetics for bodybuilding. For those of you who saw the video, like, I was so pumped to get my genetic test back, and then after I read it, I was like, wow, I have the worst recovery, I have the slowest muscle growth. Like, to be where I am now is like a miracle. So not getting enough sleep, not eating, not training as hard as I used to definitely took its toll on me. And so from about July to November wasn't as bad, because I didn't have to be at the house as much. But then when November rolled around, I actually got an opportunity to work with bodybuilding.com, and they wanted me to create a 90-day workout program that you can do at home. All you really need is a timer and a light pair of dumbbells. And so I was like, hell yes, of course I want to do this. And so I created this program that was going to be filmed in January, right? So now I have some external motivation to kind of push some of the excuses to the side and get my shit together and train. But that program was circuit training, not muscle building. And so I needed to work on my cardio endurance, not so much, build my body back up to how big it was before shit hit the fan. So a lot of my workouts were circuit style, and you guys saw that for those of you who watch my videos on Instagram. And that kind of made things a little better, but now we're in crunch time with the home, because the house was like at a point where it was almost done, but there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't done. And Mattamy Homes closes basically for Christmas the second week of December. And so now I'm stressed to the max. I have to get my body ready for the shoot that I'm about to do. And then on top of that, I was going to the house now 4 days a week, every week. And I was there all day long. I had all my own tools with me. I was working with the crews all day, showing them what to do, what to fix, what needed to be done. And a lot of people on the crew, they thought I was like one of the new foremen, because I was doing the work with them and I was helping out and I was pushing everyone. And it wasn't until like the beginning of December, after being there for almost a month, where people were like, "Oh, you're the homeowner?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I had no idea you were the homeowner." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I want to move into my house." So like, I mean, and it was like really dumb things, guys. Like, I would put a level on every windowsill in the house, and half of them were crooked. I would put a windowsill on like the fixtures in the bathroom, and they were crooked. I would check the bottoms of basically everything, and it's like everything looked good as long as you were 4 to 5 feet tall looking down. And as soon as you would get on the floor and look up, missing paint, missing caulk, like it was just a mess. And then the wiring for the house, I had to make sure that all of that worked because I had security system going in, I had Ethernet going to every single room in the house. So, when you buy a home and you build, these are things you shouldn't have to worry about. And it just caused a lot of stress. And basically the moral of this entire story is I was just dealing with so much stress from so many different, parts of my life. And on top of that, I go from having my own personal studio to film my videos in, which makes things obviously a lot easier for the kind of videos that I film because it's quiet and I can kind of do what I need to do to show proper range of motion and all that stuff. To go from having that setup for basically the last 6 years to not having that and then kind of being at the mercy of the gym I was filming in where I could kind of do what I wanted to do, but at the same time, certain people that worked there wouldn't like me doing the things that I did. All that buildup just made me, the stress. Like, stress will make you, lose your mental focus and clarity. You release more cortisol. You start to put on more body fat. All that stuff just kind of added up, and I did my best to maintain it. But, I did pack on some pounds. And it wasn't all just fat. Like, you retain more water and stuff, too. And then in that photo on the left that you guys saw, that was, like I said, about 2 months ago, that was when I was actually able to really start getting back on a routine because we moved into our home on December 15th, and then I had to leave for my bodybuilding.com video shoot to film MetaBurn 90, which actually, it comes out May 24th, so you guys are going to see it soon. It's really cool. But I only had like 3 weeks, right? And then what? We had Christmas, we had New Year's, so obviously other events and things to do. So in that 3 weeks time, I basically had to get the house ready so that when I left to film for 2 weeks for my shoot with bodybuilding.com, my house was secure and ready for my family. So, I had my friends come over to help me. We were hanging all the TVs, wiring, all the security cameras, wiring the security system for like the doors and windows. My house is pretty cool with technology. I've never had a technology house before. Like, even my refrigerator is connected to my doorbell, and when someone rings my doorbell, I can see their video on my refrigerator, which is awesome. Anyways, so, I had such a limited time to get all that stuff ready because I wanted to make sure my family was safe when I was gone. And then after the shoot, I came back, and then when I came back, that's when we were able to finally start finishing the gym. So like I told you guys, one of the conditions of moving here was I wanted to be able to have my home gym. And so the day we moved in, that same day, I had a crew here remodeling my garage and the adjacent room next to it to be able to have the home gym that you guys now see in my videos. And and on top of all of this, in October, I had to fly back home in October, right? So this is after I already knew about all the October, November. No, so this is before bodybuilding.com. I had to fly back home because it was my godson's first birthday, October 4th, which I absolutely was not going to miss. So I was home for his first birthday, and then I had to pack up my gym and ship my gym down here. And what really sucked about that was we were already supposed to be in our house at this time. And so the goal was to go home in October, pack the entire gym, and then ship the gym down, and then drive my Camaro down, and basically pull the Camaro into the garage, and then put the gym in the house. And we couldn't do that. And so while we moved into the house, and the guys are working on the gym side, so I have 2 garages. I have a 2-stall garage on the left for my car, and then a 2-stall garage on the right, which for my gym. Before I flew out to bodybuilding.com, I had 2 days to basically get the trailer with all my gym equipment and fit it on the right side of the 2-stall garage where my Camaro was. So this was like a whole other level of stress too. Anyways, I sound like I'm complaining too much, and I don't like to sound like that, but I just want to kind of relate to you guys and just show you, like, shit happens, and you have no control of it. The only control you have is how you handle it. And you might not handle it as best as you can every single time. But as long as you do what you can do and realize that things will get better, they will. And so now that I'm actually settled down here, I'm so much happier. I sleep so much better. I get so much more sunlight. My gym's in the house, so I get so much more work done, which leaves me more time to spend with my family. I'm able to basically train anytime I want. So I can wake up in the morning, go do cardio and abs, and then it gives me more time to, like, I don't have to drive to a gym, get ready, get out of the car, work out, get back in the car and drive home. I can wake up, go do my workout, sit down, I can create more content for you guys or work on other things that I'm interested in. And being now that I'm able to have such a structured routine, it allowed me to get back on track. And, you know, it might have taken a little longer than I wanted it to, about 6 to 8 weeks to kind of lose the fat I gained and the water I was retaining. And I still don't think that I'm at my very best right now. I got a little more work to do, but even someone like me where, you know, you guys might see me as a super successful YouTuber and, you know, I have this amazing life and a big house and an amazing car and an amazing family, which I probably should have put the family first. But, you know, all these amazing things happening. I'm sponsored by BSN. You know, I have a gaming channel that I basically play video games on, and that's a source of income for me. I have a website. I have an app. I have all these amazing opportunities to work with big brands like bodybuilding.com. Even with all this amazing stuff happening, there still is, you know, a dark side. And you just got to be able to know, I guess my entire life, no matter what I did or no matter what opportunities came my way, I always know that there's like a way it can go bad. I just kind of push that bad to the back of my head. You know, and even during all the stress of what was happening in my life over the past year, yeah, it may have impacted the fitness side of things and my ability to train, but like I didn't just roll over and give up. I just kind of made a decision where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to train as hard as I need to right now, but shit needs to get done, so I'm going to get that done as best I can. Then as soon as it's over with, and I can focus back on the training, and that's exactly what I did. So if you're having a hard time right now in your life, and you know you might think that it's at a point where it might not get better, or you know maybe you're doing something like I did, where you're building a house, and every week you just get bad news after bad news after bad news after bad news. Well, at some point the bad news stops and the good news does come in. So you just got to stay happy, stay focused, and just stay optimistic that things will turn around no matter what's going on in your life. And I hope that my story helped you guys out. I know I talk a lot when I do real talk because that's just how I am in real life. I'm a storyteller. I got tons of stories I could tell you guys. But, you know, I just want to share that with you. And so I'm really excited. Things are really going great with Scott Herman Fitness, with my Muscular Strength app. Everything is on the up and up. I got tons of amazing things planned for you guys this year. I've already put out tons of amazing new content for you guys, and I want to thank you all so much for your support, especially over the last year where I got kind of fat, and some of you called me out for it. Others knew what I was going through. So, I mean, to those of you who knew what I was going through, thank you for understanding. For those of you who called me fat and out of shape, I kind of want to thank you too, because it kind of lit a fire under my ass to get shit done. So it is what it is. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful week, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.